I'm Donna Blanchard, and this is your ThinkTech news for Friday, September 18th, 2015. Secretary of State John Kerry announced today that the United States is prepared to engage in military-to-military talks with Russia concerning Syria. Russia is supporting Syrian President Assad's military against both ISIL and Syrian citizen insurgents. The U.S. thus far has supported those insurgents, but earlier this week, Bashar al-Assad asked the insurgents to join his military against ISIL, and Russia urged the U.S. to support Assad as well. U.S. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter spoke by telephone with Sergei Shoigu, the Russian Minister of Defense. The two men agreed to continue discussions on, quote, mechanisms for deconfliction in Syria, according to Peter Cook, the Pentagon press secretary. It's a hot mess over there, according to me. Hungary's 109-mile razor wire fence, water cannons, and tear gas were effective against the refugees from war-torn Syria. Those people who were sent out of Serbia and barred from Hungary are now stuck in Croatia, where they've been told they are not welcome to stay. Those who cannot afford a bus or train are now walking to Slovenia. Croatian Prime Minister Zoran Milanovic said Croatia was overwhelmed by the influx of refugees. We cannot house these people, we won't block entries, but we also won't block exits. Croatia is criticizing Germany for announcing that they welcome the refugees but have not provided a plan for them to get there. Hungary is criticizing Croatia for encouraging the masses to illegally cross borders. These refugees, some of whom have paid for transportation into Hungary only to find themselves deposited in Serbia and Croatia, are reliant on sparse and sometimes erroneous communication. In southern Serbia, posters in Arabic warn the Hungarian border is closed, Croatia is open. Prime Minister Milanovic says you are welcome in Croatia and you can pass through Croatia, but go on. Not because we don't like you, but because this is not your final destination. And that's another hot mess. An 8.3 magnitude earthquake and ensuing tsunami in Chile killed at least 11 people and more than 1 million were evacuated from coastal towns. Though fishing vessels and shipping containers were strewn throughout downtown Santiago and significant flooding was reported, some officials are expressing relief that the death toll was not higher. In 2010, a magnitude 8.8 earthquake killed 525 people, 81 of those after the tsunami struck. The difference, the Chilean government learned their lesson and issued a public tsunami warning, which was not done in 2010. In Iran, the U.S. has long been considered more than mere infidels. We are the great Satan. Their supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and President Hassan Rouhani are now offering different visions of Iran's future relationship with the U.S. since the nuclear deal has been accepted. Khomeini still urges his citizens to prepare for the continuation of the fight against America, but Mr. Rouhani said this week that the nuclear agreement was not the end of the way, but a beginning for creating an atmosphere of friendship and cooperation with various countries. Right on, Mr. Rouhani, that's a good start. In other news, the Obama administration announced wide-ranging changes to loosen travel, commerce, and investment restrictions on Cuba. On Monday, coinciding with the Pope's visit to Cuba, American companies will be allowed to open locations and hire workers in Cuba, facilitate financial transactions between the two nations, and limits on the amount of money that can be brought into Cuba will be lifted. In China, science fiction and fantasy tales have been praised by the government for inspiring young people's interest in science and, quote, faith in realizing the Chinese dream. However, the police have been cracking down on some creative sci-fi fans who have been spreading imaginative rumors via social media. They've been busy arresting people for disturbing public order and denouncing posts with realistic images of zombies in Guangzhou and Henan, a golem-like creature in Beijing, and an alien in a man's refrigerator in Shandong province. Donna Blanchard, ThinkTech News. Happy Aloha Friday, everyone.